some technical difficulties, but we're gonna do our first experiment over again so that in case the sound was a little bit jumbled, that we can see it again. So Renee is just getting some more water for our experiment, but in case it wasn't clear or in case you missed it, water surface tension is really cool. Certain liquids have a stronger surface tension than others, and water, H2O, their surface tension is really good. So it keeps things really close together, and certain animals can take advantage of that, like these water striders. We see them a lot here at the refuge. They're actually able to stay on top of the surface of the water because the water surface tension is so strong. So an experiment that we can do that shows surface tension is with some black pepper and just water. And you just want to pour your water into the dish, and it doesn't have to be very deep at all. And then all you want to do is take some black pepper and you just sprinkle it on top of the water. And it doesn't have to be a lot of black pepper. Black pepper is hydrophobic. So that means it's not getting absorbed into the water like sugar or another substance. It's just sitting on top because it's so light. So when you take your normal finger and you just press down into the water, nothing really happens. But if you put a little bit of dish soap onto the tip of your finger or onto a toothpick, and you put your finger right into the water, it causes like a very cool experiment, but also it kind of looks like magic. So you could show your friends that. But what happens is that the black pepper is getting pushed to the side because soap breaks down the water surface tension. And that's why soap is really good for washing your hands. So that's another good thing, right? Wash your hands with soap. We've all been hearing that. That's why it breaks down the surface tension of the water and it cleans really well. All right. For our second experiment, we're going to talk a little bit about calcium. And we have 2 pheasant eggs that our pheasants laid for us recently, and we just use them because we have them on hand, but they are infertile just like any chicken egg that you get at the grocery store. They are a little bit smaller than chicken eggs though, but of course eggshells are made out of calcium carbonate, and that's why, just like our bones, when your parents say drink milk, it's building strong bones, and for different animals it builds their shell. It builds eggshells, seashells. Lots of different things in the ocean are made out of calcium carbonate. So it's a really important substance that you have. But what we want to do for this experiment is see if we can make an egg that bounces. So all you have to do is have some vinegar in a jar, and you just want to make sure your egg is covered. This egg has been sitting for around 2 days in vinegar. So I'm going to take it out so you guys can see the difference. So even though the color's a little bit the same, you can see it's a lot bigger than the pheasant egg that has a shell. This egg is a little bit squishy. Can you guys see that? That's because the vinegar actually dissolved the shell of the egg and released carbon dioxide. So when you put your egg into the vinegar, you'll start seeing it bubble. That's actually carbon dioxide being released. So are you guys ready to see if this egg bounces?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Oh, we got it. All right, so now this egg is a little bit bigger because the shell is dissolved, and through a process called osmosis, the vinegar, or if you leave it in water like this one after a couple days, I don't know if I'm gonna try out. But if you notice, the one in water is usually bigger because, yeah, great idea, Renee. All right, I'm gonna pour this guy so we can get him out. So the one in water, this one was sitting in water for, I think, almost an hour, and it actually is a little bit bigger than the one that was just in vinegar. So through osmosis, that's a really cool process because the membranes are really thin. So that's something super fun to do at home. And while we're waiting, when we do our next experiment, we'll test to see how quickly osmosis happened. We'll just add some food dye into this water jar with the egg. So we'll see if this will work. Just add a few drops of water in there. See how quickly this guy will turn. Okay. So lots of different things, as we were saying, are made of calcium carbonate, and a couple of different things that you can tie this back to in our natural world is that the ocean, a lot of sea creatures, especially ones with shells, their shells are made of calcium carbonate. but also the sea floor is made out of limestone, which is a compound of calcium carbonate. So over the past years, the ocean has grown in acidification. Vinegar is an acid, so kind of tells you what happens to a shell or something made of calcium when it is inside of vinegar or an acid. It dissolves. And our oceans have actually gained 30% acid, so it's a process called ocean acidification. And it's a really scary thing that's happening, but something that we can do by, like our friends have, if you watched our other videos, by recycling and doing things that you can help. But this is why ocean acidification is a problem, because it dissolves sometimes the creatures that have shells. All right, so for our next experiment, we're going to talk a little bit about ocean animals, especially animals that live in the Arctic and the Antarctic, where it's really cold. So animals like orcas and whales and seals and polar bears, all of those animals have a layer of fat, also called blubber in some circumstances, that helps keep them warm if they're swimming in icy waters, right? It's super cold. This water is really cold. So what you can do for this experiment is you just have some shortening or some Crisco. You can even use butter. And this is going to act as your blubber. So not only blubber helps all of these animals when they're swimming in the water, they also have blood vessels in there that keeps them nice and warm. For our experiment, you're just going to have a layer of fat on your body. So you just want to take maybe 2 fingers and put this all over your fingers.
You just do your whole hand.
Yeah.
So you just want to go like that. If you don't want to touch the Crisco, you could put your hand in a plastic bag and then do this. But we like getting messy here at the refuge. All right. So you just want to put a nice layer of blubber on your hands. And then all you have to do is test out the water. See how cold it is. It's freezing. But on this side, when you're protected by your blubber, right, like a polar bear would be, you can barely feel how cold the water is. So that's really cool. Something easy to do. But you can reuse this if you want to make a bird feeder. Maybe if you put some bird seed in this Crisco, birds really like to eat it, so it won't go to waste. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Yeah.
We can test out and see if this egg has gotten any. Let's see if it's gotten any.
Because there's a slight delay here.
Yeah. If it has any food dye in there. It's looking really big. Well, a little bit. I think you can kind of see it looks a little red. But you might want to give it a day or two just to see if it will absorb more.
Super
and you can
cool.
do different things with these eggs. You can put them in a liquid that will desiccate the egg, so you'll just see the yolk like canola oil or a different type of oil. So play around with these ones. It's really fun. You can even try the black pepper surface tension experiment with lots of different things.
Very cool. Can you bounce an egg for us again, Cara?
Maybe see how high it can bounce without breaking.
Try maybe from around a foot above the table.
Whoa!
Should we try 2?
I think so.
All
Or
right.
a foot.
Yes. Oh,
Wow!
Is that? Do you think we should go higher? I don't know.
I feel like maybe we should.
Wow! That's doing pretty good. Wow.
I don't know if we should. Yeah.
Today.
Do we have any questions about any science experiments that you guys want to do at home, or anything at all? We're always happy to answer. Oh, we have one request.
Higher.
Higher.
Higher is too high. Right.
I know. I think this will be the last time.
You have a ladder in the back.
I'm gonna back away. Oh, that was gross.
I'd say that was like 3 feet.
Yeah.
Right?
That was pretty good.
Well, now you know you don't have to do that at home.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Say goodbye to Cara. And please check out all of our videos. We have some more things we're going to be posting later today and tomorrow. So I'll show you our pepper one more time. And then our egg, which has now broken. And our blubber, which you can do at home. And as Cara said, make a bird feeder afterwards. All right. Thank you so much, guys.